Hey everyone, it's Kathy.
And Paul here with iDulting.
We're here to help you navigate the crazy world of adulting.
Because let's be real, it's a wild ride. We'll be dropping tips, sharing stories,
And maybe even spilling some embarrassing secrets along the way.
so get comfortable, grab your favorite drink, get ready to laugh, learn, and level up your adulting game. This is iDulting. Don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe, and share this podcast. Head over to iDulting.com for more information and to submit questions for us about iDulting.
And maybe even pick up some of our new merchandise. And if you know any fellow adults who need some guidance, send them our way.
Hello, everyone. On today's episode, we're going to talk about something I read an article about this week. Piqued my interest. Going to be honest, it's called Chore-mancing. It's a form of dating in today's world, and I actually thought, WTF?
Well, I think it's a good idea, but I don't think it's the way to start off a relationship.
Yeah, it would be an awkward first date. Hey, I'm doing laundry Saturday. Want to come over?
I don't know. Dating's different today.
The key points of chore-mancing, as the article pointed out, was it's a date that consists of doing chores like shopping, cooking, cleaning, or gardening together.
A chore-mance can take care of at least two things at once, eliminating your excuse that you're just too busy, or that you went on a date and didn't get your stuff done.
They can show what people are really like and not necessarily putting their best foot forward, because when people are doing chores, they're genuinely themselves.
A chore-mance can be a preview of what a relationship future may look like between you and the person you're dating. But like I said, I wouldn't make it a first date.
Some people claim love shouldn't feel like a chore, but the chore-mance dating trend is showing people a little different. They're getting to know each other in a different way. It's about going on dates that consist of doing chores together. Yeah, that's right, like regular housework, work, daily life chores, or going shopping, cooking, or cleaning together. We did an episode about this, but it wasn't called chore-mancing. Yeah,
Task sharing, right?
Task sharing.
Yeah.
So reading it felt like a twist on that to me.
Yeah, kind of like instead of having a group of your friends doing all of your stuff together, you have a date come and help you, and vice versa. You go and help them.
I can see it now. Honey, can you come over and help me assemble my IKEA bed? Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
Well, assembling furniture may not be the first thing you think of when considering a date, and doing something you or your date has to do anyway may not initially fit the traditional image of doing something romantic, but there are advantages to engaging in all the hard chores with your date.
What do you think some of those would be?
Doing your dishes after you made dinner so you have a nice dinner together and then you both clean it up. Kind of shows you where you stand and what's expected.
I've ruined my mindset.
Because you're thinking, let's put together the bed and then use it.
Yeah.
Which it's also
and
one
then
of our...
You say dusting, and I think, wow, a French maid outfit would look fantastic on you.
A chore-mance can be a 2-for-1 special. For one, a chore-mance can take care of at least two things at once, namely a bunch of chores, and secondly, romance, hence the name Chore-mance.
The reason the article jumped out to me, is this something you would say? We would never have called it this, but is this something we do?
Well, it's not our date night, but it's our everyday life, so yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call it romance, but we used to go out door dashing together. We actually coined a term for that. Why don't you tell everybody what that term is?
Dasher dating.
That's right, because we actually made money spending time together because people would pay, as I termed it, lazy tax for having me deliver or Kathy deliver their food. We would do it together and get to spend a couple hours together. That's why this article jumped out at me.
Well, and it also shows you who that person is. I know that you get up every morning and take care of pretty much all the household things before I'm even awake. But those Saturdays and Sundays when I get to help you do it makes me feel good. And when I'm making the bed and you get your side and pull the blankets up, it's good.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow. Another thing Choremance can do is really help get at what the other person is like. Meaning, when we went on our first couple dates, was that me? I mean, physically, it was me. But is that the personality that was the real, true, underlying, like, ground level personality?
It was, but it was the good side of you.
And only the good side. But much like social media is curated reality, those first couple dates where they're planned, which, by the way, don't ever stop doing that. Life got lifey, and for many years, we didn't have that in our life. It wasn't a good move on my part, guys. What I'm saying is, man up and do the romantic thing.
Plus, think about it this way. If a date doesn't go well, romantically, you're not feeling the vibe, you can at least say you got your chores done.
That's true. Anyone who came on a chore-mance date with me and did my laundry would at least sort it. Do you remember years ago in the apartment in Haledon, I made all my university gray patches pink?
Yeah, and your t-shirts and your socks and your underwear. Everything was pink. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I do actually know to sort out the reds. A chore-mance date, we're having a few of those. And again, this isn't your first date or two. It's showing what a long-term committed relationship looks like. Being married more than a few years, I can tell you that it's all not cotton candy and unicorn. Real life happens, chores happen, stuff we have to do every day. Daily life maintenance, I'll call it, has a hidden side where there is actually a little bit of quality time in that.
Well, and you can learn stuff. You can learn different ways to do some of your own chores. I fold towels differently than I did before I met you because it works better in our closet. If you think being a committed couple is all about going to ballet, being showered with flowers, hot sex, or lying out on a Bali beach at some time, then you've got more than a couple things to learn. A long relationship is typically a lot more mundane, filled with days upon days of navigating through life, work, being boring, supporting each other, and getting things done together. At its core, any long-term committed relationship, like a marriage, is a partnership. A great partnership can help each of you get more accomplished, more efficient than you would be able to do it separately. Like I said, you could learn a thing or two.
A chore-mance can make dating easier. How, you ask? You're like, what are you talking about, you weirdo? Well, the answer is, if you're planning and you've been doing this for a little while, you kind of start to run out of ideas. Therefore, if you use a chore-mance, it can be a lot easier to plan and execute. For example, if you know that you're going to get together to do laundry, you already have the main event. Now add a charcuterie board.
Or a movie. While that stuff's in the dryer, you got to do something.
So you're saying we could Netflix and chill while the laundry's running?
Absolutely. But don't make it all of your dates. No one wants to start dating somebody new, be excited to go out and show them off or do some new things, and spend every night doing laundry, dishes, making the bed. It's just that will become your life, trust me. Don't get it all done at once.
Right. Planning these dates, you're doing the best thing. You're doing everything you can. You're getting the right tickets. You're going to the right shows. Basically, you're the best song on an album. Choremancing can make it a more filled out album. A set of chores can help you determine what the two of you are going to end up doing and can make conversations a lot easier because the core activity is the chore. You don't have that constant pressure to perform.
Right. So if you're busy washing and drying and folding and ironing clothes, you can just chat. You're not sitting across from each other at a restaurant with a really long, awkward silence.
Doing chores can be sexy.
Doing chores and feeling sexy are not mutually exclusive. Being an Iron Man, meaning a guy willing to use an iron, can be very attractive. Like I said, helping me make the bed, it's a good thing. Showing you can use tools can be the opposite of being a tool. In fact, an attractive trait in general, whether you're a man or a woman, can be the ability to get things done. Doing a hard chore can lead to something hardcore. Putting together a bed can lead to something done in the bed. You get the picture, especially if you've hung the picture very well.
Another task in our house that I'm not that good at. I don't have an eye. I need a level. Miss Kathy, on the other hand, doesn't need a level. She has an eye. Now, this doesn't mean that dates and relationships should only be about doing chores. I think we've said that a few times here. And if you do that, and this is a newish relationship, it's not going to last forever. Unless the other person has a lot of laundry and chores to do. Then they might keep you around.
Remember, variety is the spice of life. That also means putting together a spice rack and going out to a spicy dinner.
After reading the article, I went to the interwebs using my phone computer and discovered that, yes, in fact, this is a trend. I do like the mindset shift of the newer trends. We've done a couple episodes. Sleep maxing, it's not new.
It's not new, but they're excited about it, which is bringing it back to the forefront of people's minds, which I like.
Task sharing, another one.
Love. That's my favorite.
Absolutely. It's great. However, all these aren't new. It's like fashion, how corduroys are going to come back any day. It helped me shift in myself, in my mind. Just reading the article made me think about happy times of dasher dating or putting a square fan in a round hole in our bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
It made me think of the good fun times while we were doing it. So I appreciated reading the article and conceptualizing this and slowing down and thinking in a slightly different way.
Now, this is kind of why this is trending. It's the authenticity test. Unlike a first date version of yourself in a fancy restaurant, chore-mancing happens in real life mode. You see how a partner handles a crowded grocery store.
Not good.
We never would have dated if we went grocery shopping.
No, but if we were thrillionaires, like when they drive around that commercial where they're driving around the supermarket in bumper cars, we would. Oh, I just thought about that. Pretty close to one of our first dates, we did go on go-karts.
That's true, and that was a lot of fun. It would kind of tells you how they would handle a long line at the post office or a frustrating and confusing IKEA manual.
Oh man, I should have never put this in the notes.
You should have never, because you'd be out in a heartbeat. You're lucky that we did the dating thing first.
Yeah.
And I got to like you before we had any of these interactions.
IKEA, besides the Swedish meatballs, is furniture hell.
It's not. You just don't like it.
You're like a rat in a maze.
It is true. It's very weird that once you go in, you kind of can't leave till you walk through the whole store. I mean, brilliant on their part because you have to go through and see everything, but a lot.
There is hope at the end of the IKEA rainbow, though. It ends you where you get the Swedish meatballs.
It also shows efficiency. Chore-mancing for professionals and parents who are short on time. It kills two birds with one stone. You get your errands done while still prioritizing quality time with your partner. And the mental load connection. It establishes relationships. Chore-mancing is often seen as an act of service. Taking the lead on household tasks or tag teaming them is increasingly viewed as a form of romantic intimacy.
Acts of service. I'm going to just bring this up. That's also a love language. You might hit a home run if the person that you're dating, that's their primary love language. By mistake, you might just...
And if it's not, go out and buy them something nice.
The core idea of this is in a world where everything is curated and feels performative, just like social media, there is something deeply romantic about someone who wants to be with you when life's at its most boring and mundane. It's less about a spark, more about the slow burn of a partnership.
It essentially is the life hack for staying connected when your schedule is packed.
And our schedule is packed.
Right now, with the way our schedule is, I think it would be really hard to fit a date in or a series of dates without essentially saying, I'd love to see you, but I got to get some stuff done. You want to come?
Now, some areas it fits for Kathy and I, like real life things that might be chore-mancing. Besides the daily tasks at home, are real estate scouting. We both have an interest in real estate. So us going out and looking, and we do this. It leads to conversations in the car, some interesting properties along the way, flooded basements, all sorts of things. But that would be a real life example of a chore date. Another would be a logistics and lattes session.
If you're booking the final details for a trip and mapping out your directions, your routes, where you're going to stay or stop, you can set up a dedicated travel command center at the kitchen table with a nice bottle of wine, a favorite snack, put on a playlist or music from a place you travel to or want to travel to. By doing the admin stuff together, it reduces the travel-related stress before the trip even starts.
Another one for us currently is the SUV Test Drive Challenge. That is, we're visiting dealerships. For those of you that don't know, we're shopping for cars, actually for more than one. We're shopping for Miss Kathy's car, and we're looking for a car for one of our adult children. And we have to visit many dealerships and testing them out. We could treat it like a secret shopper mission, which probably doesn't include storming out on the salesperson like I did yesterday. Just saying. Grab lunch afterwards and debrief what we liked and didn't like. That worked as a chore date.
So the way this improves your relationship, it eliminates the project manager dynamic. Often in a long-term relationship, one person becomes the manager, Paul.
I was going to say you're the boss.
And the other the helper, me. Chore-mancing puts you both on the same team as partners. Oh, I like this.
I wear the pants in this family. You just pick them out. Long time ago, I heard this quote. It's Zig Ziglar. When I got married, we decided she would make all the small decisions in our relationship, and I would make all the big decisions. After roughly 30 years of marriage, I've discovered there are no big decisions.
Chore-mancing creates a low-stakes connection. You don't always need a candle at dinner to feel close. Shared accomplishments like finally finishing the solar project paperwork or getting the gym routine synced creates a unique kind of intimacy. And when you guys have something to do and it's hard, someone helps you and you get it finished, there's kind of an adrenaline rush of we succeeded and it's great. That's a good thing to share with a partner.
It can also build synergy in your relationship. The two of you working together might get more done than it feels like you would do on your own. Therefore, 1 and 1 can be more than 2. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next time on iDulting.
Just remember, you've got this, iDults. Keep your head up, your spirits high, and keep adulting with us. Go forth and conquer the world, or at least your to-do list.
And don't forget to like, follow, and or subscribe. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and head over to iDulting.com for more information and to connect with us. See you on the next episode. Be safe.